Steve, I want to ask you about the award that you're getting tonight. Obviously, I know that you would have chosen not to be in this situation, but how do you feel to be getting this award?
It's you know, it's good because it shows that people have seen our struggle. You know, we've been going through this since she was born. You know, 9 years, almost 10, and they seen the struggle and they can relate to it. You know, so and they feel for us. They sympathize with us. They've shown that they care because they've given. You know, the boxing world has given to her fund. You know, to help us get to Pittsburgh, but. It's just amazing, man. You know, I read up on Bill Crawford, man. He's an amazing man. You know, so to get an award in his name is, you know, it's beautiful.
Okay, and so this situation that you've been dealing with your daughter, it's been 9-10 years. You've been fighting as a pro this entire time. How do you as a fighter deal with that while you're trying to box and not have it be a distraction?
In actuality, boxing has helped relieve that stress. You know, boxing is a great stress reliever. You know, if you're going through something, I encourage you, go hit a bag. You know, go spar. You know, you let some stuff out. You let that frustration out. You know, it's a very frustrating situation because you can go to that, you know, my daughter spent the first year of her life in the hospital, so we would go visit her and spend time with her, and there's nothing we could do as a parent. You're looking at your baby girl and there's simply nothing you can do but pray and be there for her. You know, so that's very frustrating, you know, very frustrating.
I feel like there are two schools of thought for a fighter. Some fighters like to go away and sequester themselves away from their family, and that fuels their fire, and some of them like to spend time with their family. For you, did it actually help being there and being daddy to your family in this time?
No doubt, yeah. I'm not one of them fighters that need to go away to a training camp, you know, out in the hills and the mountains, which I've done before. You know, it is nice, but I can train just as hard, actually harder at home, you know, and get the optimum performance out of myself in the training camp itself. You know, this is what I do every day. Even when I'm not fighting, I'm in camp. You know, I'm training. You know, I was with DKP for 8 years. You know, and those 8 years I fought once a year, but I stayed in peak top condition because I was in the gym. You know, throughout that time. You know, I didn't know when I was fighting next. I fought in January. I'm in the gym. So, yeah, man, I live in, you know, this is what I do. You know, this is my job, man. You got to treat it accordingly.
You mentioned promotional changes. I know that you just came to the end of your term, or you were coming to the end of your time with Main Events, and
yes.
They let you out early so that you could get with Haymon. Why did you want to make that move, and what does making that move do for you compared to what your time was like with Main Events?
Well, it wasn't necessarily so I could get with Haymon. You know, we just had an amicable split. You know, both sides agreed. You know, we wanted to go look other places, see what we can get. You know, my time with Main Events was wonderful, beautiful. They had a great relationship with NBC when I came on board. I saw what Main Events did with other fighters that were kind of in my situation, older fighters that were champions, and you know, like Zab Judah, for example. I saw exactly what they did with Zab Judah, and I'm like, wow, that's a good. You know, they did a good job with Zab. You know, they got him back into contention. You know, so that appealed to me. And then they had the NBC deal. That was great. That was icing on the cake. And I love the way Main Events. You know, they have like it's more like an at-home feeling. You know, all of this. It's a bunch of women there, but they're like lions. You know what I'm saying? They do their job and they're great. You know, and I appreciate the time we spent with Main Events. But you know, this is a business, and sometimes you go different ways, and there's no hard feelings or nothing. You know, business is business, and I'll pray the best for them, just as they have done for us.
So what's the direction then that you can go with Al with PBC that you want to go now?
I mean, Al's man. You know, Al's he's got boxing in the headlock to an extent. You know, he's got a lot of fighters. He's got a lot of opportunity, a lot of windows for the world to see you in. I'm just sitting back waiting. You know, like they always say. I've seen God say it. Now I get to say it. Whatever Al's got for me to do, that's what I'm gonna do, and that's how I feel right now. I'm 38, turning 39 in about 3 months, but I feel 21. You know, so and I feel like I'm getting better and stronger. My performances show that. I feel like I'm just ready to continue on until I can't continue no more.
I know you can now say whatever Al wants is what you're gonna do next, but you do know he has a number of heavyweights in his stable, which is to your advantage. It's whatever Al wants, but who do you want within that stable?
I've never been the guy, I want to fight you. I've never been that guy. Whoever gets me the attention that we want, whoever gets us the money, and whoever gets us that ranking. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Just on the topic of leaving Main Events, you know, did you leave specifically? Was it, obviously you lost to two of their guys that were perennial, you look at the Adamek and then of course the Glasgow fight, and both were very controversial.
Yeah.
I mean, did you feel, that you were on the short end of anything that was maybe a little sneaky going on there? Or?
I mean, yeah, I felt that was on the short end of some underhanded business, but I'm not saying that was main events. There's a lot of other things that play part in that machine. You got management, you've got, it's just a lot of things that the fans don't know, or even a lot of fighters don't know. Fan base, Poland, Adamek brings a lot of fans. You got the Ukrainian factor with Vladimir and Glasgow. So there could be other entities that I don't even know that was in the play, but we do know something was unhanded. I will say that, but I won't point the finger at main events or anybody. There's no evidence for any of that. I mean, in actuality, it panned out good for main events to have two fighters fighting for the number one spot. Either way, main events won. So, but like I said, it was a bad and wrong decision. So something was wrong, but we have to see if it was just judge neglect or incompetence, or if it was something shady. You know what I'm saying? So, but even with that said, the world saw me beat Tomas Adamek, and the world saw me beat Glasgow, and they saw me do it greatly. I made Adamek look like an amateur in there. I made Glasgow almost quit. Beat him up. I'm spitting his mouthpiece out on purpose. This is the Olympian. The undefeated kid. So, listen. Of course, I'm angry. I was angry at that, but I know how to handle myself, and I believe in God, man, in Christ's name, Jesus' name, and He turned things around. And you know what? Without even saying that, it's looking bright.
I'm going to ask you to look to your right.
Oh yeah, no doubt. No doubt. What up, champ? Hold on, Steve. What up, champ?
What's going on, baby? Everything's good.
The big guy. You know what I'm saying? Al, doing great. Shit, somewhere. Al, congratulations, bro.
Thank you. Al? Yeah. This is a fight that can happen.
It could, it could. It would be my honor and a pleasure to get in the ring with a man like that, to share a ring with him. I'm a fan of boxing. Period. If you follow me on Facebook, you find that out. I'm heckling fighters. I'm telling them, I'm a fan. I'm congratulating fighters. I'm saying, hey, you should have did this, should have did that. I see what this man has done. Brother Nazim is an advocate of Deontay Wilder. He speaks highly of this young man and what he's done, what he's accomplished in such a short time. So you look at that man, you can say he's green, and you can say this and that, but man, look what he's done in a short time. So you got to respect that, but also respect that I'm a fighter also. I'm a champion, and champions see a challenge. I see a challenge in that big man, I love to get in there and put myself up against him to try to beat him or be the one that beats him. That's just a champion heart.
When you made this move, one other matchup entered into my mind. I couldn't help think of Chris Arreola, who was in a Fight of the Year candidate type fight. Can you just talk about a potential matchup maybe down the road with a guy like Chris Arreola?
I mean, like I said, being with Al, these fights are possible to happen. I've been watching, like I said, I'm a fan of boxing. Me and my kids, we sit down and watch fighting. My daughter, Kennedy, her favorite boxer, and my son, Cruz, is Bernard Hopkins. Cruz calls him Bernard Hodgkins. That's how he pronounces it. I mean, you can go check their YouTube search history. It's boxing. So we watch fighting. I've seen Chris Arreola numerous times, watched him, cheered for him, rooted against him. He's a good fighter. He brings what the fans want. He gives them that blood, guts, and glory. And it would be, like I said, it'd be an honor to share the ring with these guys, man. I'm happy to be a fighter, period. To be a champion, a former two-time world champion, and to be able to now move it from Europe, fighting in Europe so much, behind closed doors where America didn't see me. Now America's getting a taste of Steve USS Cunningham, and they haven't seen the best yet.
Once again, congratulations to you and your wife on tonight's award.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.